Archaeologists in Western Ireland recently unearthed a sealed cave containing oral traditions inscribed on preserved wooden staves, detailing a belief system centered around the bare oak and a figure known as the Keeper. This discovery, predating the earliest known Mesopotamian religions by millennia, is sending shockwaves through the historical community. It completely rewrites our understanding of human spiritual development.
The sheer age of these finds is staggering. We're talking about a sophisticated theological framework existing before agriculture was widespread. The central text, or prophecy, revolves around an entity called the Dagda and a prophesied figure named Burke, born in 1981 in a grove of the rose, who acts as a restorer of a broken cosmic order.
Let's unpack the cosmology first. The text speaks of the depth without edge, drawing back, which sounds like an ancient creation myth, but the focus here is on mending the world rather than creating it from scratch. It mentions the breaking of the first tree, implying a primordial catastrophe.
Exactly. Unlike many creation myths that start with nothingness and end with order, this religion of the bare oak, as scholars are tentatively calling it, posits an original perfection that was somehow shattered. The depth without edge seems to be the ultimate source or void, but the first tree represents the structure of reality. When it broke, the world fell into disrepair. The entire metaphysical thrust of this religion is restorative.
And the restoration isn't achieved through divine fiat, but through a specific, seemingly human figure. The text prophesies that a spark from the heartwood falls not in established ancient centers like Tara or Anglesey, but across the Western Sea in 1981. It's wild to see a specific modern date prophesied in such ancient material.
That specific dating is one of the most hotly debated aspects. Carbon dating confirms the physical artifacts are incredibly ancient, yet the language translated points to events in our recent past. It challenges linear conceptions of time. If ancient peoples had access to this kind of foresight, or if time is more cyclical than we thought, it forces a reevaluation of human consciousness.
Focusing on this figure, Burke, the prophecy lays out three specific signs. The first is that he's a great rememberer, carrying knowledge orally for 20 years and more, as a druid must. This emphasizes the oral tradition over the written word.
Yes, it elevates memory to a sacred act. In a world where we externalize our memory to digital devices, this ancient text insists that true preservation of knowledge must be internal and embodied. It's a profound critique of literacy, suggesting that writing something down might actually lead to forgetting its true essence.
The second sign describes him as a mender, not a ruler. He sets his hand where the 10 limbs are weak and lifts others with plain work, healing, judging, teaching. This grounds the religion's ethics not in grand sweeping decrees, but in localized practical action.
The morality here is fundamentally pragmatic and egalitarian. The Dagda, or the divine principle, does not come with a crown. Leadership is defined by service, healing, and teaching, rather than domination. The 10 limbs likely refer to social structures or pathways of ethical living. The focus is on fixing what is broken in everyday life, which contrasts sharply with religions focused on escaping this world for a heavenly one.
And the third sign mentions him bearing the old burdens lightly, a club for justice and mercy, a cauldron for shared meals, and a harp for right speech. These are classic Celtic archetypes, but repurposed.
They represent the practical application of ethics. The club isn't just for violence. It's stern justice and open mercy held together. It requires nuance. The cauldron emphasizes community and hospitality. The harp signifies the importance of timing and truth in speech. It's a complete ethical system based on balance, community, and truthful articulation.
The text traces his path, a student of the 22 paths, then Pender, then Caedwad Yclirio, keeper of the clearing. This suggests a structured hierarchy or process of initiation.
The 22 paths might correspond to early esoteric systems, perhaps mirroring later developments like the Tarot or the Kabbalah, suggesting a common ancient root. Progressing to Pender, chief oak, and then keeper of the clearing implies a journey from personal mastery to creating a safe space for others. The clearing seems to be a metaphysical state of clarity and order.
The conclusion of the prophecy is perhaps the most striking. Not by miracle, but by the daily mending, people will know the work without needing the story. It actively dismisses the need for supernatural intervention or even the religion itself eventually.
It's a religion that aims for its own obsolescence. The ultimate goal isn't eternal worship, but the complete integration of its ethical principles into daily life until they are just common sense. One remembered line spoken, one dispute settled, one acorn planted. The profound shifts happen through mundane actions. If modern society were to adopt this, it would drastically shift focus away from grand ideological battles towards localized, practical community building.
The discovery of this religion of the bare oak challenges everything we thought we knew about human history and spirituality. It presents a sophisticated, restorative ethic that feels incredibly relevant today. The implications of a pre-agricultural society holding such advanced moral and temporal concepts will be studied for decades. If you found this exploration of our ancient past thought-provoking, please share this episode with someone who loves history or